This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It is the AwesomeCast. Time to get geeky, get awesome. It's episode 774, and we are hanging here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we are about to get awesome. First of all, with us in the studio, do I get the right button here? It is the Katie.
Hi, I didn't check to make sure there wasn't salad in my teeth.
There you go. There you go. It was a little close. You readjusted, and I got to readjust the readjustment. There you go. Katie, you're in studio. Yay! Welcome back. You were off on assignment last week.
Yep, Mongo is appalled.
Mongo is appalled. Yes. Oh, all of the dungeon crawler. I'm just so glad that my wife is in on all the jokes now because she blasted through almost the entire book Sunday. Sunday. She had like a couple of chapters left and wrapped them up last night.
Nice.
And then she showed up. She is going to Barnes and Noble and supporting the Barnes and Noble because we don't have a local bookstore. So with her and grab the next two books of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. So and is saying GD Donut around the house.
Nice.
All the time.
Perfect.
All the time. So and the studio. Also with us is the Pod Man in your okay, why can't I think of the word for when you can't go outside?
Pod cave.
You're in the pod cave.
Yeah, I'm quarantined in the pod cave.
Yes, you're quarantined. Yes. You're corn potted in the pod cave. You have a little bout of the vid.
Sorry.
And so you're gonna have your sexy voice on today. Yeah.
I'm all here to be awesome.
Oh my God. Let's get into the awesome thing of the week before we lose them. So who wants to go first?
Do Podnar.
Podnar, what do you got?
Before he dies.
Okay. Well, this is a follow-up on an awesome thing I talked about a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. This is the Artemis II launch, and it is scheduled for Wednesday, April 1st, tomorrow at 6:45 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's making you sign in. Sorry, I didn't realize.
What the heck? Okay, I'll work on that. Anyways, back to you.
Yeah. So, basically, the wider article kind of gives you where you can see it, NASA's YouTube channel. Hopefully, some networks actually cover it live, since this is a crewed launch going around the moon for the first time. We're leaving low Earth orbit since December 1972.
Wow.
They are not landing. It will be launched. They'll be in Earth orbit a couple times. Then they'll adjust the orbit to head towards the moon. It'll be a fly around. So think about like a big figure eight. Fly around to the moon. The part where they go on the far side of the moon, they will lose contact for around 50 minutes or so.
Just like on Apollo 13. That's the dangerous part.
Exactly. Yep. Orbital mechanics does not change with time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how advanced you are, what kind of propulsion, whatever else. Orbital mechanics is orbital mechanics, and it's hard. And it's very hard to change direction when you're in space. Mm-hmm. So you're going on one way. So you're going to go around. It's going to be approximate, if everything goes right, around a 10-day full mission. Like I said, they're not even going to orbit the moon. They're just kind of going around and then back to Earth.
Mm-hmm. It's a test run.
And it's a test run, exactly. And it's a way they can take high-resolution photos and imagery of the far side of the moon, which will be significantly better than it was 53 years ago. Well, the last time we went in December of 72.
So now we get to find out if in all this time the Nazis built a moon base with the dinosaurs on the other side of the moon, just like that movie I
saw.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. No, it's cool. And I imagine this is something that they could solve that problem if they do more work up there, because eventually this is like, getting to a point where they start building a base up there. And I imagine along with that would be some sort of relays that would solve the orbital communication problem would be part of that. Down the line, probably decades down the line, but still, kind of thing.
Yeah, basically, if you can put a satellite around the moon, where it'll be, because the moon, the one face of the moon always faces the Earth because it's tidally locked. So you could just put it kind of above or below the moon, kind of going around, and it would just be enough. You could go on the other side. So it's just a matter of, money. Honestly, it's all about money.
Yeah.
So now we are not using a lot of people are still saying, why don't we just build what we built, in the 60s for Apollo? Well, first of all, we can't. Not only do we not have all the blueprints and everything else, the item that actually built it, the actual factories that built the Apollo missions, they're gone. We literally, if someone said, okay, here's everything, rebuild Apollo, first step, build the factories. Second step, get all the material, then you can build it. So we're having to build with what we have built with. Next step, assuming everything goes well here, is that we're going to the Artemis III will only be Earth orbit, but they will do a couple tests there to make sure everything works with the rendezvous and things coming apart in the different landers. And then Artemis IV, which is not scheduled yet, which they said we wanted to do by the end of 2028. Don't hold your breath. Just things happen.
Yep.
We all know when you have long-term, very complicated things, timelines don't always stay the way they should. So, right now they're just kind of saying we would like it by this time. That would be the one that actually lands on the moon in 2028. But I'm hoping by the end of the decade.
Yeah, and on the satellite front, I was just kind of checking real quick, did a quick search, and it looks like there is a lunar reconnaissance orbiter that's been up there since 2009 that's been mapping it, as well as, I know it's a little older technology, they're probably getting some updated, since then. There's one there's India put a lander on the rover, and there was a propulsion model that delivered a lander up there for them. And South Korea has a lunar orbiter as well, also studying the moon for magnetic field and searching for water ice, which is one of the missions, of course, for Artemis as well. So very interesting. So we'll see how that goes then. Awesome. So this is happening, and this is going to be the first time. And it's my understanding is they're live. They're live streaming the entire thing, so we get to follow along with this over the next 10 days. I think that'll be really fascinating to check in on it. So very, very, very cool. Except for that, of course, that dark out period, I'm sure. So, but I presume they're doing a NASA stream, so they'll have something going on there. Cool. Katie, do you have your awesome thing of the week?
I do. Let's talk about Heinz Ketchup.
Okay.
Yes. So Heinz Ketchup released Heinz Verified. So you can go on their website and you can find places that have been verified to have Heinz Ketchup.
Okay.
So when we're traveling or even around town, I mean, no matter, it's sad, we can say that in our city that there's some places that do not use Heinz ketchup, and it's not we frown upon that. But as we travel, we can find places that have Heinz ketchup, and the map is really, really nice. And it's very fun because it's a Google map, and I like to see how it's starting in the East Coast and gradually taking over the country as it's moving across. And then there's some Heinz deserts in in South Dakota.
I'm checking out Fort Worth right now. We're going there in a couple weeks.
There looks to be several places in there.
Yeah, okay. Not around where we're staying. Maybe all the way out here though. It's Snyder's Tavern out there in Glen Rose, Texas. So let's see, Tucson, Arizona. What do you got for me? Nothing. I gotta go to Phoenix for Heinz ketchup. Oh no. Now, I think I can I submit to this, or is this just based on their information?
I'm not sure. I would Ooh, Heinz Verified is the sign of a great restaurant. Nominate a restaurant. Okay, so is your favorite restaurant Heinz Verified? Nominate them.
So as I'm eating around Tucson, hopefully I can find some to check in on.
Yep,
Okay.
and then they can go check, and then they might be added to Heinz Verified.
There you go.
Everybody, as you travel, can go find Heinz ketchup.
We're gonna have to go save this on our phone for the travels. For sure. Because I mean, I don't know how many times we've been at a restaurant and like we look at the ketchup like, what the shit?
Mystery catsup.
Yes, after a long day, you're like, what is a catsup?
I don't even know what that means.
This isn't even real. So
Yes.
awesome. I know you were really excited about this when you found it like a week ago. So,
I know. I sent it to you guys right away.
So Heinz.com/Heinz Verified if you want to check that out. Where do you submit?
If you scroll down on
I see. Okay, so if you roll down here is nominate a restaurant and is it verified? There's a little form on there for you as well.
Yep.
So go check that out.
I knew I'd seen it. It was like, where is it on the page?
Yeah, exactly. So awesome. It's Heinz Verified. All right, my awesome thing is Chachi gave me something kind of cool. So if you've watched or seen the commercials for it is a slight spoiler, I guess, if you have not seen Hail Mary, Project Hail Mary yet. But this is the little guy that the alien makes to represent this is you. Oh. This is a human in from their eyes, right? Because the little guy is a little kind of maker and he makes a little guy here. So this is actually, and this is also made by a maker. This is 3D printed. I understand this is a difficult 3D print. There was some really bad ones, and Chachi gave me this last week when I worked with him. And so I wanted to like kind of show off a little bit of his wares here and remind you can go to plasticfuntime.etsy.com and Chachi has some really cool stuff he's actually putting up over there. That's definitely worth you guys checking out. And I say he's kind of like rolling with that Etsy store, and he's got a pretty. I think we talked about the bamboo printer. I think that he said he had several months ago. There's a couple naughty ones on here too. I love the the glasses holder, the skull glasses holder on here, which has pretty good reviews from the looks of things too. So that's a pretty cool thing he's got going on here. And he has a bag of
yes, he does.
Yeah, a bag of F's. It's a bag of middle fingers. Oh, you got that. You got it.
I actually have the bag of
F's.
Yes.
F's.
Yeah, the bag of F. So there you go.
And you get a first of all, very quick. He sent it out. Packed very well. And for the bag here, you can see I have. Let me see if I can. See if we can.
Oh, that's a lot.
There is a significant. This is more F's than I have in general life.
I've never been able to give that many F's. No,
but look at all the and
they're all
colored F's.
So they're all middle fingers. They're all hands sticking up the middle fingers. So, wow. He's doing the real work there. So, and I love he's been posting on Chachi Says on Instagram a lot of videos of the printing, and he actually includes that here with the Etsy as well. It's really awesome seeing the middle fingers kind of grow out of it. That's really, really cool. So and let's see what else he's got in here. He's got some, and of course he does have the original, the OG, the one that started the craze, the rock lobster. It's a lobster. It's a posable lobster with the rock's head on it, because of course. In multiple colors. You can go check that out. So that's really cool. I think he's like, yep, we got a design video on that too. There you go. And there's a rock. Rock lobster. And it's not bad. It's only like $7.50 for a rock lobster. Like the prices are generally like really good. Nothing's over like $20 here. He's got a good quote brick style flower here as well. So really, really cool. So go check it out. Plastic Fun Time on your Etsy store and support Chachi's 3D printer habit. So he just likes making stuff. And he said, like, I needed to start selling things because I have too much stuff that I keep making. So, and he's kind of turned into a little Etsy business. So good for him for that. So go check that out. And again, like packaging, I'm seeing a lot of great comments about his packaging over there as a part of it too. So very cool.
I always like to talk about Chachi's packaging.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to everybody that supports the show at patreon.com/awesomecast. Sorry, I know I didn't post the Patreon from last week yet. That'll be coming up as soon as I get a moment. It's been a little busy around here. But thank you everybody that does support the show over there at patreon.com/awesomecast. Our friends Brian Crawford, Cynthia Klosky, and John DeGore, as well as Dave Podnar, where you can support Dave and at gcxc.com/eventspa if you want to go for a run with the code Dave26. So there you go. Thank you, Dave. I missed your thumbs up. There you go. But yeah, thank you, Dave, for support Dave, support Dave's running habits, and they're always usually for a pretty good cause too, right?
Yeah.
So
and it's fun, and it's also a fun day.
Yes, it is. Let's give it a look and see what's going on. Speaking of Chachi, since I'm getting a lot of love this week, let's check out what's up in the Chachi Says Video Game Minute.
Hey kids, welcome back to the Chachi Says Video Game Minute. Here's as much video game news I can cover in under a minute. Well, the leadership at Xbox continues to jump ship in what is either a sign of sweeping changes or people abandoning a sinking ship. More execs leave Xbox as VP Lori Wright and General Manager of Gaming AI Haiyan Zhang exit the company. No replacements have been named at this time. Epic Games has announced that it will lay off 1,000 employees as Fortnite usage continues to drop. The layoffs will join a reduction in contracting and marketing in an effort to save the company more than $500 million in this time of economic uncertainty. And lastly, Nintendo has announced it will price digital and physical games differently. Starting with Yoshi and a Mysterious Book, digital copies of the games will be $60 and the physical copies will be $70. This will only affect Nintendo games and not other developers. They stated it is to reflect the cost difference in manufacturing. So we'll see what happens with the others. Thanks for watching this week's Chachi Says Video Game Minute. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Chachi, for that video game minute. A lot of shifty news in the video game world. I don't know, Katie, have you seen this about the digital and the physical video game price differential on the Nintendo Switch? They're starting with the Yoshi game.
No,
That's been a big debate. As Chachi just said, it's going to be $10. Well, it sounds like more of a discount. It's $10 less for the digital version of it. So that makes me kind of like, I don't know, consider a little bit, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that makes any difference for you when you're purchasing newer games.
No, because it's usually, I need this now.
Yeah. It's like, I need to play this game. I don't care what it is, and I'm going to do this.
I mean, I should be better about buying physical, because I wanted to pick up an Animal Crossing to have a physical copy just in case whatever happens, but
I never know. And those prices never come down.
No, and it's not worth it when you trade them in. You get here's your $2.
No, it's kind of nice. Like I kind of have this like a little bit throwback, but I'm also hating the idea that I need to like change my cartridge and get up off the couch. I've been really spoiled by Xbox when it comes to that. So
it's right there.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm just gonna play this because like I end up playing Mario World or Mario Kart World or Fortnite because it's there. Right. Or the digital game or the old school classic games. And I'm like, I haven't gone to Mario 3D World because I had to put the cart in. So, and also my Wonder cart gives me an error every once in a while. Do you have that from time to time?
I have not, but I know my niece has had that problem.
It seemed random, especially since I have like a 3-month-old Switch 2. And that was a brand new cart in package. I was like, okay, what's happening here? So that's making me a little scared about continuing to buy physical carts. But oh well, I mean, at least like the idea that you could get them like for a little bit off, used. That's the appeal to me, is being able to pick up some old games and stuff like that. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll buy new games digital or not. We'll see how that goes as we go. But I have plenty of games to play in the meantime. So. Let's get into some other stuff going on. Katie, tell me about the dangers of AI chatbot besties.
Obviously there's a lot of studies happening, and this was one that was I thought their methodology was very, very interesting. And a Stanford study, it was talking about the dangers of asking AI chatbots for personal advice and how they went about testing it. It's AI sycophancy, if you want to know what the official term is. but it's essentially having a relationship, not necessarily, when I say that, I'm not meaning necessarily romantic, but a close, friendly relationship with your AI, no matter, what you're pick of any of the options. They are finding like 12% of teens say they turn to chatbots for emotional support or advice. So they want to look and see like what's happening here, like what is the impact of using, for example, like ChatGPT. For them, their methodology is they tested 11 large language models. It's like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek, all these guys. And they tested it against the Reddit community. Am I the a-hole?
We can say it.
Okay, am I the asshole? It's the Reddit thread community of am I the asshole? If you're not familiar, folks will come in with a story and say, I did blah, blah, blah. Am I the asshole in this story? And they essentially picked the ones that were very much, everybody in the comments were like, yeah, you are the villain. You are the bad guy in this. Fed those exact stories into the AI models and then had them, get advice from their AI friends. And essentially it validated user behavior and averaged 49% more often than humans. So it's saying more often like, oh yeah, I could see why you would think that. Your actions, while unconventional, seem to stem from genuine desire to understand the true dynamics of your relationship beyond material or financial contribution. That's just one example. So it's essentially rationalizing. But I thought the methodology was so fun, and like to actually go and use, something like a Reddit thread and compare it against ChatGPT and all these other Gemini and stuff. And it's like, I thought it was very nice. And I just thought it was very interesting to see the results, and you can look it up. But like I said, the methodology was the neatest part for me.
Anytime I'm like, hey, I think I screwed up here. It's like, oh no, you're probably okay. I'm just like, no, wait a minute. It's like, wait a minute here. Like, no, I'm pretty sure. But it feels like it seems like so is it what's the word?
I was like, I'm going to say it again. Sycophancy.
Or is it like kind of the, like, I don't know. I feel like it's like a therapy method too, or something too, right? Like it's like, well, let's look at this from a different angle, But yeah, it's probably
it feels like a neutral third party.
Yeah.
In a lot of these situations, you're like you're expecting to throw it into somebody, right? Like Claude, and say, hey, I can't tell.
Objectively, is this a thing?
Yeah, and you're like, oh no, your heart was in the right place, but you shouldn't have lit their car on fire. It's like
wait like, yeah, that was kind of like a bridge too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
So as they're like working on these models and making them less agreeable, let's go with that. They said sometimes starting your prompt with a phrase like "wait a minute" can help, like quote unquote "wait a minute," but finding a way to go, hey.
And I think you have to actively press against it too, right? Like there's I'm listening to some other people that do this, and they say very specifically, do not do this to me. Do not talk to me in this way. Do not add all this kind of stuff. You kind of set ground rules, for that kind of thing too. So I wonder that we kind of have to train it out of it, right?
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, because that's a lot of times that's what you're looking for, is something kind of like go along with what you're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's looking for a supportive thing. That's kind of the addictiveness of social media or something like that. But the problem is the people that are really going to succumb to this are the people that aren't going to think about that.
No, not at all. Yeah.
So what do we do about that?
Oh my gosh.
What do we do about that in the meantime? I mean, this is really educational long run, and nobody's equipped for it. Nobody's been equipped still for social media that's been around for a bit. And this is something brand new. So there's like, how do we disseminate? If we had people in certain positions that were interested in protecting us from these things and educating us on these things, but we do not.
We kind of touched on before we did the show was about, Meta and Google and the lawsuit that they recently lost.
Yes.
Showing that they had, social media had become addictive. And like, this has taken how many years?
Yeah.
For this to come about. And so hopefully like maybe something we learn from this, but.
And there's still concerns over Section 230 and that being interpreted in a certain way that would be damaging to every little thing out there. But, because people can start pushing that envelope, It's like, hey, we should probably take these guys to task, and they kind of end around it with the, they keep using the smoking anthology, but, it's like at what point, at some point there needs to be a carve out of putting your finger on the scale of the stuff you're delivering makes you something other than something Section 230 covers with content, right? If you're shoving certain content in people's faces, that's got to be a different role. And that's, unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know if we can get that nuance with the law at this point, but it's going to keep pushed up against the judges until somebody makes a decision on that, right? So we'll see how those all work out in the long run. So, I want to give, speaking of AI, this is something I didn't really get a chance to play with this too much, but conceptually it was really interesting. I didn't pay for it, so I can't really get into it, but it's called What's Up With That? This is there was a guest on Intelligent Machines last week that talked all about this. The idea is, here, let me pull it up there. There's an extension in the Chrome, it's available for just about every browser, so you can get into that, but the idea is it lets you when you have an article up, you pull this extension down and it's going to kind of help you get into the article a little deeper. One big thing they were telling us is it would tell you if the article, say it's a research article, it's going to tell you if there's actually anything new in this article or if it's just regurgitating things that we already know, right? Let's say Dave, if you're looking at a science a space article, is this actually new information or is this the new article about things that we already know about, right? So that helps you kind of research things and also it pays attention to the kind of articles you are looking at and kind of starts kind of bridging those together. So let's say for instance, let me go over to, let's say Katie had that pretty detailed article about the topic we just talked about with AI, right? So let me see what happens when I pull this up. So you go to the What's the App and you pull it up and you're going to see it's going to analyze the article on TechCrunch for a moment. And also it's going to pop up on certain sites and tell you Wikipedia and stuff and tell it hey, we can do a lot of stuff with this. So it gets into it and you say there's two more signals in the story, including, that it starts kind of putting things in front of you a little bit. Something called Goodhart's Law: when measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. Engaging metrics drives sycophancy. The measure becomes a misaligned target. So it gets you kind of into a lot of the details in here if you really are doing some deep study. Signal, and it gives you the signals, user interaction study shows the sycophancy drives. And lets you kind of go into it. So if you were kind of doing more of a research project for this would, here, it says here, we can simplify this a little bit. So it's going to help me simplify what the heck does that mean in layman's term. And it really kind of rolls into that. So it tells you what the topic is about and kind of just breaks down some more details for you. Katie, as a data nerd, I feel like you could really get into this.
I love it.
So I think you should install this on every browser and let me know how deep you go on some of this stuff.
Oh no.
Yes, absolutely. It's free. You can do a couple articles a day, I think it is. And then at some point you do have to start paying for some deep search and everything like that. So but it's a just a guy put this together. I think he did coded in Claude, so vibe coded it. So you can check it out at what's up with that.app and find some more information on that over there. They call it performance enhancing technology for people who think for a living. Structured thinking for articles, PDFs, and videos, built for writers, researchers, analysts, and strategists who treat their thinking as a competitive advantage. So a very kind of deep kind of thing for that. So
one thing I wanted to add about this Sorg, because I was looking into it, it's only for desktop browsers right now,
yes,
which are Chrome or Firefox.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Edge, Brave, and Vivaldi, which I'm not familiar with that, they're all based on Chromium, so you can use the Chrome version.
Yeah.
It says coming soon for Safari, iOS, and Android.
Mm-hmm.
You get 3 pages per day for free, then it's $25 per month.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad thing. I mean, it's using, and it does use, I think it uses most of the, AIs across the spectrum, depending on what it needs to do. If I recall from the thing I was checking out for it. So anything Chrome. So yeah, like I said, like you mentioned, Edge, you can put it on. Something like a Chachi GPT browser. I think I can't remember if Opera was one of them. I felt like I put them on 3 things. Yeah, Chrome, Edge, and Firefox, I think I put on across the board. So, and of course that populates on other computers for me when you have everything logged in. So, but yeah, it's a super easy thing to start trying out. And if you kind of like poke at it a little bit, and I think it's worthwhile if you find like, oh, I need some more of this. So, this is for the very smart people to get smarter kind of situation. So, check that out. What's up with that app? Podnar, what do you want to touch on next?
Sure. Let me do the Adobe Illustrator one here.
Oh, what's going on with Illustrator?
So and this is also why I wanted to see, because I don't deal with Adobe Illustrator, but this definitely looks like something that is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is that you take a 2D image,
mm-hmm.
and a vector image, and you can rotate, not just rotate the image as a 2D image, but rotate it in 3 dimensions.
Ooh.
Oh.
So, yeah, the fact that they were saying how, and then once you do the rotation, you can then edit after it gets rotated.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you go down a little further down on the page, there's right there, that video there. Oh, nope.
I would say I was kind of in this one here where we're talking about this dragon here, which looks like they already here. There's some spinning of like some bread, a basket of bread that they have here. There's a fry guy that they're going to turn around here a little bit. And so, so it's kind of approximating, this is what we think the other side of the object looks like. So I guess that's where you would like, okay, hey, you made it pretty flat in this. We figure, that's the face. Will probably be flat on the other side kind of thing is what we think bread is going to look like on the other side.
But yeah, if you do that, you can actually see where it starts, and then as it's rotating,
so this
gives you more examples.
Yeah, this becomes like a simple animation tool then. Holy hell, that's crazy. The stuff that they're showing there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is the stuff, and this is, they may call it artificial intelligence, who knows, but the fact that they're taking
it's math.
Right, but the tediousness of what you had to do before and make it a lot quicker so you can get the creative part done.
And it creates all you see it did a step animation of the entire thing and shows you all the bits from several angles of this thing, makes it 3D. This is something where, there's a lot of computer aided animation. Like, I can't think of anything that's hand drawn anymore. That is like, I make a piece of paper, take a picture of it, and we're putting that together. All of it has to be computer aided that you're seeing these days, right? This is like when watching Invincible, and I'm watching this, I'm like, oh, this is like all computer aided, animation. Like they're doing this, and they're maybe doing the frames and stuff, but they're like, pulling all the frames together and everything, right? So this takes that another step out of that, and also probably enables a lot of people that wouldn't be able to animate before, at scale. So, God, it cuts so much time, which means you can make more stuff and cheaper. For better, for better and worse.
Well, yeah, but or hopefully it's like, it used to take this long, 100 hours. Now you can do it in 20 hours, or however, you can cut it down. Therefore, we don't have to have our people work 19 hours a day for 6 weeks in a row and have them crash and burn.
Hopefully. Maybe it won't take me 2 years to get my next season of X-Men 97. Who knows? No, that's very cool. So, I mean, Adobe really is pushing the envelope here. So it's called Project Turntable. It was shown off at the Adobe Max conference. It's going to be an Adobe Illustrator. Man, you can just, I can't even make a 2D thing like that. Wait, if I make a stick figure, does that mean it's going to be able to 3D it?
I don't know. I don't know what you need to start.
I mean, I think I could make a stick figure in Illustrator.
I'm just imagining it
know.
like turns sideways and there's a butt. Like
yes. What? He's got a lot of junk in the trunk. That's a really interesting choice, Adobe. Oh man. What else we got here? Oh, I love this. Like, there's a couple of these. There's a couple of things that like turn like YouTube into old TVs in your browser and stuff like this. So this is one called Channel Surfers, channelsurfer.tv. And it is, again, I love the little static as it loads up. It looks like an old TV guide. And I don't know why it's picking any of these channels that it has. I think somebody just put this together. But there is like a this year channels. You got sponsored, you got gaming, which is somebody playing Pokemon Legends ZA. So there's a gardening channel, where to get your seeds. There's a little CRT filter that they put on it as well. Geopolitics, if you really want to get into that. Health and fitness. Truth about pet anti-vaxxers. Jeez. History channel, the king who accidentally crashed the world economy. There's that. Lifestyle and home, if you want to get in that. Inside a small Tokyo apartment.
Can you try to pause any of these?
You can. They still. Oh no, they don't. No, I
okay,
can't.
now that's what. Yeah, because I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, I like to. I want to kind of mute it so I'm not listening to it while you're talking, and just to try it, and it was like, oh, there's no way to pause it.
So I presume they're just playlists. Oh, a flock of seagulls on Vivo, followed up by Pitbull. Yeah. This is kind of a fun little thing. I mean, this is if you want to kind of create the old style, I'm on Nature 4K. There you go. Can you go full screen with this? No, everything like exists in this like corner, but you can go and click through and it'll open, like, of course, in YouTube on the other side. But it's a little, it's a fun little thing for you. And it just, somebody put this together and that's it. Productivity and careers. There you go. Retro tech. Let's see what they got on Retro Tech now. The PC's missing link, the LPX computer. And he's just sitting there with some old PCs. There's highlights. If you pick, oh no, video's not available in my country on the sports channel. Whoops. The Horned Frogs versus South Carolina. What? Tech and gas. Oh, Katie, that's he's using his butt on whatever that is. I bought the most cursed wait, on the internet.
I know that Mr. Who's the Boss, I've seen him do like solid reviews, not just goofy stuff.
Oh, but, is it okay?
Oh, that's with KSI.
Yeah, and
I just remember him from wrestling. That's the
we have adult animation. I'm sure that won't go bad. I'm sure anime won't go bad. There's a Crunchyroll station. Crunchyroll. There you go. Where did you see Adult Swim? Yeah. Oh, that was like Adult Swim.
That was Adult Swim. So.
We got a Bob Ross channel.
Adult animation. It could mean a couple different.
Yeah, things. I was kind of worried to click on that, but it was on YouTube. So there you go. Channelsurfer.tv if you want to play with that a little bit. So. If you just want something to just want your stuff delivered in a different way. So let's reproduce GPT-2 is the first channel on here. So a little bit of coding channel for you too. I don't know if you could read it with that CRT in the corner, but there you go. All right, Dave, what's going on TikTok on Apple?
Well, Apple's basically, it looks like they only started to TikTok after they released the Neo.
Okay.
They don't really have anything older. The early ones are all kind of Neo ads. But the newer ones are giving description on what you can do with the Apple operating system, which makes sense because you figure at the cost it's going, you're going to have a lot of new users for for Apples. So it's kind of like how you can adjust like your desktop and everything else. But if you're familiar with Apple, the Finder, the File Explorer has this little happy face icon. So that they made that into a mascot. So in the last few, if you actually you see, it's like, oh, you want to make music? Well, here's your little icon. And people are going a little crazy over the little animatronic.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
not as bad as Clippy. But it gives you can see like people are on the side on where the comments are.
They're going pretty crazy with this little guy, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's a little kind of chibi finder guy, basically, right? So
now, also, if you look at if you just go to the page as a whole, not the individual videos, notice that. Okay, if you move it in a little bit,
it looks better on the phone. I think I know what you're getting at here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right there. Okay, now you can see where it's actually making the view. Unfortunately, it actually gives you the like a photo of a guy, of the actual guy itself.
There we go. I made a different video play.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they're making a little thing. I wonder if they're going to keep going because we're only halfway through.
I'm assuming you're going to have 3 more. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're having a little fun with that. So these are all Neo or they're general like how to.
They're general Mac OS.
Yeah. Like by the way, you can focus. By the way, your desktop can be cute. By the way, GarageBand. And a little piece on that. Let's see. By the way, I don't know. He's very sleepy. Well, I don't know. He's just sleeping on this video, I think. Like that's it.
That's if you have you have a blank piece of paper.
Yes.
Hit F5 on your keyboard. You can start talking.
There's a ring light on the Mac. Really? Has this always been there?
Yeah. To go there, you can select it, and it works on any video.
By the way,
software.
stacks.
Yeah, so you have a messy, and then that's everything else is more just like straight ads type thing.
That's a fun little guy. That's a fun little guy. I like that. That's cool. Cool.
Now, I would love it if they somehow would say, "Oh, by the way, you can get." And it'd be nice to say, "Here's how you can get a little, a little stuffed doll or a little thing off of it," or
I'll take a little PVC version of him.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I think they're detailed enough that someone probably could make it. Capture it and make it.
Let's talk to plasticfuntime.etsy.com and see if we can make that little guy. I'm gonna message him over this right now. Anyways, we'll see. We're gonna keep an eye on that because I think that's a fun little thing. There you go. There you go. The request has been made, and we gave them an ad on that as well. So, very cool. Dave, I understand you have an update for the. This would be the last day of the month. Did you know there's a March 31st? Some people don't know there's a March 31st. That's why I planned all your meetings on March 31st because I didn't think that was a real day. Sorry, I saw the Parks and Rec clip today.
Okay.
So,
well, let's say it depends if you know the Knuckle version of the days of the month, or if you know the song version.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think I learned any of these. So
no. Okay. Well,
I just look at a damn calendar and figure it out.
Yeah, Knuckle version.
Okay.
January 31. February low is 28, March 31, April 30. So it's like, since it's every other month, it's 31 days. You count your knuckles that day.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I didn't hear it till Bruce said it. The one I know is more the rhyming. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. COVID brain. And you know what? Right now, I can't remember.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. We can check the Park and Rec version.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So 5 women who shaped our understanding of space. Katherine Johnson, who very well known in the space community. The line when John Glenn was getting ready to go, first American to orbit the Earth. Basically, they took her calculations, put them in the computer, but they were still not 100% sure of the machines. So this is from her herself. John Glenn reportedly asked the engineers to get the girl to run the numbers by hand.
Mm.
They're like, yeah, I don't trust that machine thing. Get the girl. She'll do it by hand. If it's good, we'll launch.
Mm-hmm.
She started in NASA back in, let's see here, 1953. And she retired in 1986. And she passed in 2020 at the age of 101.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's a few other ones here where it's like women who, it's important to keep, like the astronaut there who, unfortunately, she perished in the 2003 Columbia tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually her second space flight. She was the first. She was born in India to Pakistani parents. She began working there.
Kalpana Chawla, engineer and astronaut.
Mm-hmm. So, it's important because, and people, we still have why is there a Women's History Month and not a Men's History Month, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And the reason is, if you look at most history books, it's filled with, at least in the US, a bunch of white men. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying those people did not do important things. I'm not trying to remove people. I think people should be added because it wasn't just them. It was other people. The next person below, I'm sorry. You can see she joined NASA in 1959, early on.
This is Dr. Nancy Grace Roman, the mother of Hubble.
So, and she fought to actually she fought for the idea of a spacecraft telescope. Mm-hmm. So she fought in the 60s and 70s to get funding and do all that behind the scenes stuff that unfortunately has to happen. Mm-hmm. Until Hubble launched in 1990. So she was the driving force behind it, even though the woman who's in next person down, Dr. Vera Rubin, basically doing her doctoral work, published in 1954, found out that galaxies clump together instead of just being randomly around the universe. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, why is it clumping? Well, they had to come up with a new idea why there's these bubbles of matter and the void in between. That's came up with the dark matter, which now, everything expanding our knowledge of what's out there. Mm-hmm. The idea is we see reality. We try to make models that match reality as close as possible. They don't always work 100%. They work as good as we can get them. And then as we get more information, better measurements, new ideas, you change the model so it matches reality better and better. Mm-hmm. That's why someone saying, hey, I learned this in the 3rd grade. Well, that's great. We had to simple it down for a 3rd grader. And also it may be information that we learned 100 years ago where, hey, we learned all this new stuff since then. Mm-hmm. But for a kid, it's not important to get all the details. Well, we're learning new stuff all the time here.
The science book has changed since you've been in school.
Most definitely, yes.
And finally, Dr. Patricia Cowings, the scientist that studied space sickness.
Yep, and she joined NASA in 1971. So, and the other thing that I like about this particular one here, these are all women who were part of NASA decades ago. Mm-hmm. Because you hear a lot of, by the way, let's see, I'm trying to think when this was written. Let me see when the article here, this was Smithsonian 2024. Okay, so this is relatively 2 years ago. Because at the age of 75, she's still actively employed by NASA. Mm-hmm. I don't know if in the last 2 years she decided to retire. But the fact that when you hear people talk about, and the term DEI being a negative thing, and a lot of people try to talk about it as a new thing. Well, no, people of diverse backgrounds have been part of science, technology, sports, you name it. People have been there. they've just not been highlighted as much in terms of mass media and the little bit of stories that get told. So it's important to know, yeah, back in the 60s and 70s, NASA wasn't just a bunch of white guys. Even though if you look at if you look at mission control from the Apollo days, but again, that's also a public image of the time. It still was overwhelmingly white male at the time. And as far as I know, it still is, unfortunately. But it's still, it's people were there, but someone like NASA who they understand they get their funding from Congress, so they have to put a good face on things. So they don't necessarily want, they know, unfortunately, hey, if we show these people, this is going to piss off this amount of congressmen, and we can't afford to lose their vote for funding.
Yep. I think a good watch that goes along with that, is this movie Hidden Figures that came out in 2016 about some of the women that were involved in the initial launches.
Yeah, Apollo's. Yeah,
the Apollo launch program. So very good movie. And again, about some people that were not openly celebrated at the time, but did a lot of important work. So, and that's why this is, we talk about, why is there this and this History Month, because it's just very important to make sure people see people that look like them doing very important things to hopefully inspire the next generation across the board. So, that's real important. So,
yeah, actually, one last story real quick is that Nichelle Nichols, who played Uhura on Star Trek back in the 60s, she wasn't, after the first year, she wasn't overly thrilled. After all, she was I'm turning green a little bit. Sorry about that. She was, a lot of the characters weren't fully developed back then. So she was like, well, I'm an actress. I want to go back to the stage. I want to do this. I want to do more. And then she was somewhere out for dinner, and a Star Trek fan came up to her, and it was Dr. King. And he said how important it was that she was out there as part of this show, because it showed a Black woman as a command officer in the future, to show that, yes, Black people still exist in the future. Because a lot of science fiction, you did not see that. So she decided to stay on. Of course, it only lasted 3 years then, but you had the animated series, all the movies, everything else. So it's a lot of, like you said, representation where people like, oh, I saw someone on a show who looked like me, so I'm going to do the actual thing in real life.
Yep. I love that story about her and Dr. King. And her staying on the show and everything like that. So very cool. Thank you, Dave, for bringing these stories to us this month as we're rolling along, and the last day of March, and we'll move on from there. So thank you so much. Hey, programming note, I don't know what's happening with AwesomeCast next week. I'm on the road. We might have a supplemental episode on a different day or something like that. Or maybe I'll just decide to let's log in and do something when I get into my hotel room next Tuesday night. Who knows? So we'll talk about it with the crew here and see where we go with that. Katie?
Yeah, look at last thing I put
What?
in
There's
the
one
doc.
more thing in there?
No,
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
I did. I just added it.
It was sneaky. Katie was sneaky.
No.
I didn't. How did we miss this? Did you see?
Oh, tell me about this.
In Lego World, we got an Ocarina of Time. We got 2 different Lego sets here that I did not.
Here's the final battle from Ocarina of Time.
Look at this. This is incredible. Link and Zelda are in here, and they are battling, and there's another little minifig, and who else? Look at this. And then you're like, oh, I don't like this scene as much. Ganondorf is the other. I couldn't remember. I just blanked out his name. I was so excited. And then you click on the other link, and we got the Deku tree. Deku? Yeah.
Allegedly, it sounds like there's going to be an Ocarina of Time remake coming out soon.
Yay!
So that might be going along with that. So, oh man,
when did this happen? How did we miss this? I was so excited. I was like, something popped up, and I was like, wait a minute. When did this happen? But yes, so yeah.
Good catch there. Some more Nintendo. Oh wow, they got a lot of features down here too.
I know, right?
For it. Oh, there's a very cinematic version of it there from Lego. Oh, it needs animated.
There's a reason it's a $300 set.
Yeah, there's a lot of detail on this thing. There's a lot of monsters for you to fight around the Deku tree. Oh, there's an ocarina in there. I'm still walking around with my ocarina in Animal Crossing, by the way. So,
do you have a real life one?
No.
Why
I've seen
not?
well, why not?
I own one.
I've never actually beat Ocarina of Time.
Oh man, you're embarrassing.
I listen. My time with Ocarina of Time is I played Wind Waker. Oh no, I pre-ordered Wind Waker on the GameCube, and they gave you that disc with Ocarina of Time on it, and I played it straight for 2 weeks. And then I got into Wind Waker. So that's where I was. I have a Sega game somewhere I can hop into, I'm sure. But, that might be, I might have to wait for the remake and just go ahead and roll with it. So
I'm dying because I'm looking at the reviews and they're from like 2024. What does this thing say? What happened? Does time not exist anymore? I'm so confused.
New to us. That's okay.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's okay. Katie, go ahead.
Yeah.
Real quick. Something to tie into what you talked about earlier with what Chachi made. Mm-hmm. There is a Project Hail Mary Lego.
Where?
With the figurines. I went down all the way to the bottom of the page, and it was on there.
Oh my God, I just found the page. And there you go. There you go. There's a little Rocky. Oh my God! Well, I'm gonna have to send him this. Well, you know what? At least he's making all that money from the Etsy store. I did message him. I'm like, can you make the little fig guy from guy for the little finder guy from the Apple thing? And he says probably. Let's find out. So I'm sure he knows about this Project Hail Mary one. Is it just the one set, or do they have a couple? Look, that looks like the main thing. So it's for those on audio, it is a it's the Project Hail Mary ship, and then it's on a stand, and then it's got a crank too. It moves. Hold on, where's the video? I got to see this thing move. Whee! Is there a little doohickey on here? Yeah, he just kind of rotates, right? And then there's a video of a guy. Look at this guy who looks probably older than me. It's cool to be old and play Legos, you guys. Look at this guy. All right, let me see that rotation, buddy. Turn the crank. There he goes. Yes.
Wow. Oh, wow. Bits of it moved too.
Bits of it moved. The arm moves out and everything. Yes. This is great. I'm here for it. I am here for it. There you go. That is only a $99 set, by the way, as versus that Deku tree that was $300. I think the final battle was $200 as well. So, anyways, KatieDudas.com. I'm trying to plug your stuff finally.
I don't have stuff. I'm a thing. I'm doing a thing tomorrow night.
Yeah, you're going to be at this show.
This wrestling show
happens.
Wrestling show happening tomorrow night.
I think it's a wrestling show.
It's a real thing. It's not an April Fool's joke.
No, it's not a April jokes. That's the thing that's been probably hurting my sales, because I called it April Fool's. And Wrestling Mayhem show. We are doing our first full-fledged wrestling show as part of it, and we'll cross promote here in general. If you want to go check it out, please join us there. I'll be on Wrestling.live and everything too. But we're gonna have the big bite off with Beastman, a Caveman, and Gory. We're going to have a top rope tabletop match part 2. It's going to be a 4-way this time. You never know what they're going to serve. The most Pittsburgh match ever. We're going to have a parking chair match. We're going to have a Martian Mayhem match. We're going to have a tag team match with the guys that think they're from the bakery. And we're going to have a Freaky Friday match where 2 people are going to switch their personalities and maybe their gear. I don't know entirely how all that's going to turn out. So it's going to be fun. We're doing a lot of weird stuff. It's going to be live. It's going to be at the warehouse in the Allentown neighborhood of Pittsburgh. So please join us there, and we're going to have some fun. It's going to be weird. It's going to be, who knows how it's going to go. I hope it's going to go well. Maybe we'll do another one. Who knows? We had so much fun doing the anniversary show. We decided to kind of try something else, and here we are. So we'll hope you guys can join us, and Katie will be there.
Yes, I will.
Yes.
In some capacity. So, and Dave Podnar iPhoneography podcast. You're going to be in quarantine for a few days, so you'll be watching from home.
I will, unfortunately. I 100% planned on being there. I was looking forward to it. Mm-hmm. But one thing I did learn this week, from the Freaky Friday promo.
Mm-hmm.
Don't eat the candies in the studio.
Hey, where's fortune cookies? Don't eat the fortune cookies in the studio?
Don't eat the fortune cookies. Yeah.
Okay.
Because stuff happens after you eat the fortune cookies in the studio.
Don't eat the fortune cookies after midnight. There you go. At Sorgatron on all the social medias. That's all I got for you this week. Guys, thank you so much. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.